So I was told to kind of get over and conquer my nerves, to imagine that I was preaching to my little parish. If you can't tell, they're right there. But for some reason, that's kind of hard with all of you guys all around here. My name is Father Mario Majano. I am the parochial vicar at Our Lady of Sorrows in Tacoma Park. They're only cheering because I told them that if they didn't cheer as much as they cheered for Father Mike Paris last year, then they had to move to his parish. So I'm also the assistant vocation director here at Watch. Actually, I'm the assistant vocation director, which is kind of like being the third string quarterback for the Redskins. So I'm the Colt McCoy of the vocations team here. I'm also the assistant vocation director for Hispanic needs, because if you can't tell, I'm 100% Irish. So it's a great joy to be here with you all. I'm kind of amazed that I was allowed to be here and preach, but it's a great thing. It's an incredible experience simply to be here. First of all, because, well, look around. We have all these vibrant, on-fire young people. We have our cardinals, bishops, the nuncio, who I think we can still call young people, right? You know, witnessing here with us. And just in general, all our families, all together as a Catholic family, here defending life. It's simply amazing. We're celebrating 20 years, and it seems that every year it's grown amongst the youth, amongst the young people, coming here to stand up and say, listen, we don't want what this world is telling us. We cannot stand for a culture of death. Now, you know, I remember coming here. I grew up in the area. I'm from Gaithersburg, Maryland, from St. Martin of Tours. They're also here, apparently. And I remember coming here throughout high school, throughout college, and always being amazed by looking around and saying, wow, there's people my age who really stand for this, who really stand for life. It's an incredible witness that we can give to the world and to each other, simply by being here. And that's why the Lord tells us in the first reading. He tells us through Jeremiah, never ever say, I am too young, because you are spreading his message. He has sent us to speak his word, and it's amazing for us to be a part of that. Above all, it's amazing to be here because each one of us has been given the opportunity, has been given the chance to live our life and to be here. We've had that chance, and so we celebrate that we have it, and we live out our life, especially remembering those who did not have that chance. That is what we're doing here today. I had to remind myself that a couple times on the metro, where I was tempted to just fall asleep and miss my stop, or fake an injury so that someone else would be tagged in to do this homily. It's not about me at all. It's not about how good this homily is. We're here defending that life. We're simply here to champion the cause for those who have no voice, who have not had our opportunity. We are here to build up and plant the seed of respect for every single human life. Above all, we gather here to pray that we receive here the next generation of heroes that will stand up and defend this life. I think we're doing pretty well, no? We have an auditorium full, we have the Verizon Center full of people, of young people, wishing to say, we defend life from conception to natural death. That's what we're looking for. Heroic people. People who are willing to stand against the culture and defend what is most important to us. You know, it's funny, over the years, my definition of what a hero is has developed. You know, at first it started simply being flash, bang, superpower kind of things. Eventually, it became someone who put themselves in harm's way for someone else. But now I think I can truly see the true hero is someone that will let nothing, absolutely nothing, no matter how big, how small, get in the way of defending what they know to be true, of living with that mission of defending the smallest part of our society, of defending what they know comes directly from God. And that's when I came to realize that I know a hero. I've met a hero before. A woman who, against all obstacles, against all trials, stood firm and would not budge, would not move from what her beliefs were when everything else in her life seemed to sway. She remained constant when constancy seemed the last thing that was given to her. 3 times she was tested. 3 times she found the courage to stand firm. The first time, she told me, she felt that she had no support anywhere, not even from her own family, from those closest to her. And in that very moment, she gets pregnant. A man forced himself upon her, and she ended up pregnant, and the family just kind of let her be. She felt totally alone, nowhere to go, practically disowned. And someone told her, you shouldn't be going through this. You don't deserve this. You don't have any support. This is impossible for you. You know what? Just take the practical solution. Abort. She looked her life up and down, and yeah, it wasn't practical. It wasn't easy. But she said, I cannot face the rest of my life knowing that I have taken this one from someone. And so she said no to that abortion, and she said yes to life. Second time rolls around, not many years later. Different situation, different place. Having found a support, after a fact, in a family that welcomed her, gave her everything that she needed, well-intentioned, she became pregnant again, yet she still wasn't married. And the family said, listen, you already have a daughter. You're already alone. You're not married to this man. We don't know what your relationship will become with him. Now, we're not really fond of this guy, but we love you. You know what? Don't take the risk. We'll take care of everything. We'll pay for everything. Don't ruin your life. Abort. For a second time, she's forced to look at this reality and look at her life and say, it's not perfect still. I'm not sure what my future holds. But she said, no, I can't. No matter how genuine, how full of love and well-intentioned that suggestion was, she said no once again. No to abortion, and yes to this life that was growing in her. A good 13 years later, once again she finds herself tested. Against all odds, that marriage did work. She saw her family grow. And when everything seemed stable enough, she got a tumor. And so the doctors started treating her as best they could for a year with heavy medication. They said, don't worry, you have no chance whatsoever that you will get pregnant. Well, lo and behold, a week before the surgery, hey, surprise, you're pregnant. And they said, but you know what the problem is with this pregnancy? The medication was so strong, there is 0 chance that this child will be born normally. By this point, she said she was a pro. She had already experienced this twice. She'd been in tougher situations. So she said, normal or no, this is something I will not do. No to that abortion, and yes to the life that was growing within her. Against every circumstance, against every setback that she experienced, this woman stood firm. I find that heroic. This type of heroism is largely unsung in our society. And so we sing it today. We praise her. And to this woman, for her valiant effort, for constantly standing firm and focusing on her steadfast love for what life is, I simply say, thank you, Mom. Thank you very much. Now, I told her not to come today because, as she knows, I take every opportunity to embarrass her with about as many people as possible. But today, I really thought we need to sing this type of heroism. So she's over here. And thank you with all my heart, because truly thank you, because the only question that kept popping up in my mind after I discovered this about my mother was, what if? What if it had been different? What if she had not had that courage? What if she had said no to each of those lives? I'd be without a sister who has given me some amazing nephews and a gorgeous little niece. What if, because they told her there was no chance that my younger sister would be born normally and that it would be too difficult, she had decided not to take that risk. My 15-year-old sister, beautiful girl. Now, I don't know if anyone in our family would consider her normal necessarily, but no worse than the rest of us, at least. What if she had listened to that well-intentioned voice saying, you can't handle this. This is too much for you. The situation isn't right. And she had decided to say no to her only, and might I say, good-looking son. What if? I look back at my life now. You definitely have a different priest preaching today. And I look back over the last 2 years of my priesthood and I think, all those sins forgiven by confession, all the sacraments celebrated, all the spiritual encounters, it's not because I'm great, but at least I've been there for somebody. What if she had said no? Because God tells each and every one of us here, from the womb I have called you. I have a plan for every one of you. What if she had said no? There's a plan from the womb I have called you. From before each of us is born, he has dedicated us. That is what we celebrate today. That's what's so amazing about being here, that we have this opportunity to stand up for life. We have this opportunity to shout and tell the world there's something greater here. Since we have this wonderful opportunity to live, we're called to do something with that life. We've been marching for many years. We've been celebrating here for many years. And that's great. We're standing up for life year after year. But we're called, above all, to hold fast to that hope that someone out there will listen to what we have to say. What we need heroes. We need people who are willing to stand up against the tide of this culture, even if there's resistance, even when there seems to be no hope. St. Paul says, do not conform yourselves to this age, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. That'd be great to sit here and pray. We hope that everything goes well in our lives. We hope that none of us ever have to face these difficult decisions. But we can't control that. What we can do is transform ourselves. The church, our Lord, is asking us not to eliminate every peril, but to simply stand up and let him form us into the heroes we need to be. That takes commitment. That takes sacrifice. So St. Paul once again tells us, I urge you, brothers and sisters, and I urge you with them, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice. What if we took that seriously? What if we became the sacrifice for the world, just like Jesus is in this Eucharist for us? What if we allow ourselves to be transformed by his love so that this society can see that in us? What if we had a whole generation that took that upon themselves to daily sacrifice everything so that Jesus may shine in this world? What would happen if we stopped caring whether we're well respected in the world, whether we're keeping up with whatever society is telling us, and simply let the Lord transform our minds and transform our lives? What if we stopped caring about holding fast to the beliefs that society gives us, no matter how uncomfortable they seem to make us? Now you may say, that doesn't seem to have much to do with repealing a law about abortion, but it does have everything to do with conforming ourselves to Christ. That is what transforms us into the heroes that we need to be. What if we allowed ourselves, what if we allowed the youth to not be moved by what's posted on Facebook, Instagram, and all that stuff that leads away from this life? What if we had a whole generation that truly took up this call and said, I will do any sacrifice necessary so that this message gets out? How many of us here speak Spanish? Wow. ¿Qué tal también nosotros como comunidad hispana? ¿Qué tal si nosotros tuviéramos esta oportunidad de conformarnos tanto a Cristo que no nos movemos por lo que nos dice la cultura, ni aquí ni en nuestros países, sino lo que nos dice Cristo? ¿Qué tal si nosotros pudiéramos transformar a nuestra comunidad viviendo de acuerdo a lo que Él nos enseña? How different would the society be? How different would our witness be? We're all here, all of us, as a church, here to make a stand, to stand up for life, to stand up against abortion. We do stand here for life. Now, this may mean that we have to sacrifice, even if the rest of the world doesn't. This may mean we give up pleasures, commodities, whatever else in our life, even if no one else does or listens. But what if that's what it takes? Will we stand for that?